Like seasons, war always return. Every 274.5 years, evil rises to destroy all life. Orcs and humans then set aside their differences to protect their world. Each time, the evil was defeated. Each time, life returned to normal. But a countdown mistake changed everything. Evil emerged 2 years too early, catching the living off guard. We were not prepared. The schools of magic were the first to fall, throwing the world into chaos. Your studies ended prematurely. Now you are one of the last guardians of immeasurable amount of knowledge. It is your duty to preserve it, but above all, to share it.
All right, welcome everybody. With that wonderful introduction there, you can tell that we're playing a new game. We're playing Spellcaster University, which, well, new to my recordings here. I have played through one campaign previously off record, as it were. So I have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing, but I will be playing a new campaign here on the highest difficulty and with some of these challenge rules, see if we can get these done. So I guess we'll start with the Chaos Challenge. Magic collaborations are twice as common and take twice as long to disappear, which, if you're not familiar with the game, probably is pretty meaningless to you, but that's all right. You know, I love this game because it draws you in with its charm, but then keeps you there with its complexity. So hopefully we'll get to enjoy all pieces of that here as we go. So, yeah, without much further ado, let's get into it. You should, if you haven't seen the game before, you should pick up on what's going on pretty quickly, even if not necessarily every single nuance of every little thing. So let's go ahead, and we need a university name and a glorious coat of arms. So it's going to be Stardust University of Peace and Space Exploration. There we go. Two important things. And let's see here. What looks like a fantastic symbol for us. You know, oh wow, there's a lot of these. It's gonna circle back around, but it seems that's not happening anytime soon. Let's settle on this this lanky dork figure here. Reminds me of me a little bit, so that seems good. Give him a nice little background, and go ahead and let's see. Is this their color? Yeah, okay. Sure. Make you stand out a bit with some red, and make this yellow look a little bit less like puke. Ooh, that's bright. Okay, here we go. All right, this contrast probably a little much, but you know what? It's okay. We're here to stand out, so let's do it. All right. So to begin, we have to choose a starting area. I have played in the village and the lake before, but just to take a quick look for you, the lake gives us a longer trip to school, special opportunities with the creature of the lake, and a limited buildable area. The village gives you richer students, but the local minstrel might cause trouble. And unfortunately, he makes your students quite dumb. And a large buildable area, and the forest gives you poorer students, but they're werewolves, which, believe it or not, is a good thing. And there's an ancient troll that can cause some trouble for us, but also a large area. So we're going to go to the forest because I haven't actually played in the forest before. So here we go. Alright, a Sylvan Citadel. The kingdom's great forests are known for their giant millennium trees, which will be at home here. Legends say that elves used to live in these woods, but everyone knows that elves don't exist. The local population lives more simply than the rest of the kingdom, so do not expect any rich students. And now, as is often the choice in this game, after this little prompt, we get to choose an option of some sort, and often they'll tell us what they do, sometimes they won't. So wood people, students report, would have a higher chance of being werewolves. So we could choose this place is full of magical creatures and draw the stable card and the fawn card. We could choose to receive 900 gold, which would buy us quite a few cards from the standard deck, not bad. And we shall do everything in our power to make our students' futures magnificent, getting us a trophy case and a counselor's office, which seems like the poorest option to me. Those are typically things you want a little bit later on in your university's future. So I guess we'll spend quite a bit of time on this initial phase. So I'm going to try to talk through what I'm thinking of my decisions, but to give people that might not be familiar with the game a little bit of an idea, we're going to be building up our university. So we have, like, you can see we start with a couple of cards in our hand, so we can make a dormitory for our students, or a refectory where they can eat, and then we'll hopefully get some classrooms so they can actually learn something. And this bar up top here will slowly fill up over the course of the game, and when it gets to the end, the Lord of Evil is going to come and destroy your university, and we'll be done with this one, and we'll move on to a different area to build a different one. And after, I believe it's 7 times, on the 7th time, we'll formulate a plan to beat the Lord of Evil once and for all. But in the meantime, we'll just have to have our school do what it can while it's around, and yeah, eventually run away. So schools typically will go somewhere from 11 to 14 years. You can see here there's a little counter for a year in our season. And you get a variety of quests that you have to fulfill during that time, which will then give you additional bonuses for your next school, so you can kind of snowball out of control. All that said, yeah, like I said, this is stuff I want later on. So 900 gold could get us a few cards out of the standard deck. The upside is this has a little bit more variety of what we can get, but the downside is, you know, if we spend that money now, then these cards increase in cost every time you draw from the deck, so they'll be more expensive going forward. This gives us a free stable, which is kind of cool. That's a classroom right away, and then the fawn is a fairly useful creature early on as well, so I think I'll just do that. So yeah, let's go ahead. So the stable is where our students can learn the beast magic skills, and the fawn makes our teachers less tired, hungry, and bored. Which we'll get into that in a moment. But in the meantime, so now we have this sort of little decision to make. Is we have these new houses we can make, which can help us determine what our students are going to specialize in. And then we can also draw additional cards to get some classrooms. And so if you draw the classrooms first and try to match the house to the classroom, or go the other way. And my my strategy so far has been to do the houses first, and that seemed to work out. So we're going to go that way. So here's our house. We can choose to be an alchemy apprentice. Well, I should go in order, I guess. So each house gets 2 features here. Excuse me. All right. So yeah, we get 2 features, which we get a choice of 3. So we can have steadfast, losing less sanity, beautiful, lose less sanity when insulted, because they're so beautiful, they don't care. Or courageous, dealing more damage in combat. Combat's a pretty minimal part of the game, so courageous is generally not a trait I value very highly. Reduced sanity losses are kind of cool. So it's either 20% on all sanity losses, or much less when insulted. We'll probably just go with steadfast, just go with the general thing. And then our second feature, we have light sleeper, which reduces or lowers tiredness faster while resting. And the alchemy apprentice, learning alchemy faster, and well-behaved, students misbehaving much less, which is actually useful here, but I'm a really big fan of the specialization type stuff. So we're going to pick alchemy apprentice. And so now if we can find an alchemy classroom, then any students we send to this house are going to learn alchemy faster, and that's just great. Gonna make the uniforms blue to match up with the alchemy. Maybe throw some blue in here as well, just for some consistency here. So yeah, this will be our little house here. And call that a day. So we have one alchemy house. We'd like to find something that can work this stable, so something that does nature magic, but start here. Alright, seems I accidentally unpaused the game there, so some time went by, unfortunately, when I stepped away, but well, we should be okay still. So let's go ahead and make our second house. Okay, perfect. We got Child of Nature, so we can learn nature magic faster in this house. We can get well-behaved or diligent as well. Or no, not as well, sorry. These are the choices here. So we'll get Child of Nature, and then Steadfast again, Light Sleeper, or Arcane Scholar. Doubling up is still okay, because if we get any Arcane classrooms, we can make a house that specializes in both, so I think I'll go ahead and do that. And we'll go ahead and stick with the green uniforms here. And you know what? This cute little creature, purple on green, perfect. So this will be our other house. Now, as the game continues, we'll have little pop-ups over here. These are new students. We don't want to quite do that yet, but we'll go ahead and talk to the king. The king can give us, well, here. A new school for my kingdom. How great. So very great. I would be very much like to help. I am a fair and generous king. What do you need? So we can get new funding. Again, allowing us to draw more cards from the standard deck, but increasing cost. So I'd rather choose a room for free. So let's go ahead and grab a room. Okay, we can get an Assassin's Arena. It's not really magic, sure, but mages with a secondary class are very popular. An enchantment workshop, which allows us to do some alchemy, so that's great. Or a janitor's lodge to clean our school, which is definitely helpful, but we're going to go with the enchantment workshop here. So now, going here to our class and students. We don't have any students yet, of course, but this will show us our houses. So we have an alchemy classroom already for our alchemy apprentices, and we have a nature classroom already for our nature students. So we're looking for an arcane classroom ideally, and then just some stuff to help out. Alright, we can start with a teacher's lounge, a private bedroom, or a dormitory. So we already have one dormitory where 5 students can sleep and recover some tiredness. You generally want a second and even a third one as your university gets larger, but to begin with, one should be fine. The private bedroom also does the same thing and improves sanity as well, so that can be helpful. It's smaller. It's a smaller room, but only houses 2 beds, so but it does have that sanity bonus. And the teacher's lounge, where the teachers can lower a bunch of their bad stats, which is really fantastic. So we're gonna go with the teacher's lounge, make sure teachers are nice and comfortable. Alright, then we have a shadow room if you want to get started on studying shadow magic. Not a priority right now, but we would like a 3rd classroom. A 2nd student's hall is definitely helpful as well. Students tend to get bored quite a bit. And the weapons and shield active characters in the room have their combat power increased for a few minutes. As I mentioned, combat not really a huge part of this game, so I haven't liked the weapons and shield very much. So I'd prefer an arcane classroom, but we're only going to get to draw 1 more card, so I can't guarantee that. So I think I'll take the shadow classroom here, just so we have something. And it's a good thing I did, because our options here are a 2nd refectory. Definitely don't need that. We start with 1 and they house 10 students, so it's a while before you need a 2nd one of these. The Witch's Cat, which is pretty good, wanders around and reduces the needs of all characters. And the coffee machine, which can reduce the tiredness of a teacher. And we could put that in the teacher's lounge, for instance. We could put that in the enchantment workshop. Can't put it in the stable, so probably put it in the teacher's lounge. It would be helpful. But we already have a fawn to sort of help our teachers out, and the teacher's lounge already kind of does that on its own. So I think I'll take the cat to maybe help our students out a little bit. Alright, I guess... So, given all that, so we get to choose where, what order students prioritize or don't learn, and given that right now we have an alchemy, a nature, and a necromancy classroom, we'll go ahead and have them study alchemy here, maybe forbid these 3 and have normal priority on shadow. And then this one is going to prioritize nature, do normal priority on shadow, and forbid the rest. So that way, both can dip into the shadow, but they're focused on the thing they're better at, ideally. So we're about to get some new students. There's a neat little trick where if you go into the headmaster's office, you have this cool little thing here, which lets you determine a few things about your university. I usually like paid dormitories so that our university actually makes money, along with paid meals. Start with middling salaries for our professors. But the application fee here determines how many students are likely to apply to your school. So typically you don't want to jack it up too high, but there's a neat little trick where you can set it to 30 and then play discard new students, which puts 5 students in your school. And so each of them will then give us 30 gold, allowing us to get quite a bit more gold. But before I click on this, which is going to give us a new crop of students from a random pool, I should reduce that number. However, before I even get to that, what I should do is put down my classroom so that I know which students want to get assigned where, because the teachers have a sort of D&D alignment system, and if it matches up with what the students have, they sort of teach them better. So generally speaking, this is the entrance to our university, right? Students are gonna sort of arrive from out here somewhere, enter the school, and then, you know, hopefully not leave too much. So ideally we want some classrooms right around the initial area so that they can get learning right away, and then we put some dormitories and things sort of closer to the middle, then maybe some more classrooms, that sort of thing. Later on, there are also some strategies around trophy rooms for people that are familiar with the game. Basically, there's a room that you can stick a bunch of these artifacts like the fawn and the cat into, and they affect all adjacent rooms. So there's build strategies where you kind of leave some holes for that, fill it in later, and you have some really efficient rooms. But I think in our first university, we're not going to worry too much about that because you generate things pretty slowly, so you can't really plan around getting these specific rooms right away, especially since we didn't start with any light magic, which is where they come from. Alright, so all that said, the enchantment classroom is the biggest one, I think. Or no, the stable is the same size as well, yeah. So we should probably do about 3-ish levels, I think. Let's see, this is a really long area, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's 15. Oh, this area is huge. Okay. So with 15, yeah, I probably want to go maybe about 5-ish into like learning centers, then 5-ish into, you know, student hall and refectories, and then another 5-ish classrooms. So let's start with the shadow room right here. Sure, let's do that first. And it's going to give us a choice of 2 teachers. So this guy, as you can see, is chaotic good. So yeah, chaotic students grow their needs more slowly, and good students study faster. They also have a pedagogy level. So this guy does normal. She's bad, so she lowers the learning rate by 20%. That's pretty poor. And the unionize trait means we have to pay them a little bit more, but they grow their needs less, which is a bit of a trade-off. I usually don't pay too much attention to that. So this guy is not a terrible teacher. He's fun. Students don't get bored as quickly, and he doesn't get bored as quickly, so that's really helpful. However, he does get hungry rather fast, and he's greedy on top of unionize, so we're going to be paying him a pretty large salary. Our shadow teacher here is neutral good. She's bad at teaching, not unionized. She's punctual, so she moves quickly, which is overall quite useful, so your people can kind of get around. Like if they get hungry, they can run over and have a meal real quick and then come back quickly. And she also gets bored slower, so that's useful. She's demanding, which isn't as bad as greedy, but still means we're paying her higher, and she increases the boredom of other characters. So I think despite this guy's voracious hunger and incredible salary, I think he's going to be the better teacher, so we'll go with Elliot Detritus here. Alright, so let's pick Elliot, and then build ourselves an enchantment workshop right here. Actually, I'll put the stable here, and it's not much of a difference, but the stable has a bunch of creatures which wander around. I kind of want them slightly more centrally located, I think. So let's put the stable here. Now we get to pick our beast magic teacher. Let's see. This person's mediocre, lowering the study. This, I'm already looking at this. They improved their students' learning rate by 20%, which is really fantastic. Neutral, neutral, unionized. Okay, sure. Inspiring. So the students have a chance of losing their negative traits. And ex-adventure is giving us adventure guild reputation. Also very helpful. Relaxed, move slower, and students learn a little bit slower. Combined with excellent pedagogy, it's pretty fine still, because they still teach faster than normal, and chatty also slows down. Okay, so these two kind of offset this back down to like a normal or maybe even slightly below normal level, but these are useful traits as well. Whereas she is mediocre to begin with, so probably around the same level. Baseline, hawk-eyed, active students misbehave less, and she moves quickly, which is cool. Ooh, has a larger chance of creating magic collaborations, which, thanks to our modifier, are worse. So we really don't want that. And then she also retires from things slower. Alright, so given all that, I think we still go with this one. If we ever find a way to maybe get rid of some of these traits, they're going to kick into overdrive. And getting some passive reputation is really helpful as well. So up Audrey Baynard here, neutral, neutral, and I'm noting down these alignments on a piece of paper here so that when we're assigning students I have an idea of where to put whom. And I believe our final piece of learning area is the enchantment workshop, which I will go ahead and put here. We get our enchantment teachers. Let's see, you're good, so plus 10%, solid. Fun, students get bored half as much, and you lower hunger faster. You get hungry faster, but then you eat quick. Okay, sure. And you're slow, which is kind of bad, but this is near the entrance at least, so it should be okay. This one teaches at about a normal rate, so only slightly worse than that. Hawkeye's great, and Job Lover's pretty good, so she doesn't get bored as quick, and students are less likely to misbehave, but she is also clumsy, which we again want to avoid, since we're playing on the chaos thing. So we'll go ahead and go with Victor Rutabaga here, who's chaotic good. Just hit my finger there, that hurt. Okay. So there we go, there's our 3 teachers. So we got a chaotic good shadow and alchemy teacher, so that's kind of interesting. Potentially something to do in the future. Alright, so now I can get these students, and then I know where to assign them. Though you can reassign the houses later, so I could have done this first if I wanted to put them in whatever class and then just move them around. Alright, this student's a Shadow Disciple, so that doesn't affect which class they're going to go to because they're currently both studying Shadow Magic, and they're Chaotic Neutral, which is funny because we have Chaotic in one school versus Neutral Alignment in the second school, so they're kind of whatever. They can fit into either school. Let's start them in, sure, we'll put you in nature school, why not? Okay. Alright, excellent. This guy is an alchemy apprentice, so we're going to put him in alchemy school. You can get these bonuses more than once. They're going to get it once from their default, and then once again from the school, giving them a 50% bonus, which is fantastic. And they're chaotic as well, so that's helpful. Alright, easy, go ahead. Right, this student, okay, here's another thing. You can choose to discard a student application, not accept them into your school, and later on in the school year, I would probably get rid of this student because they're dumb, they're very slow at learning, they're also deaf, which makes them even slower at learning. So they're going to learn extremely slowly, and they're only here for 3 years, so they're probably not going to learn much, but the first year or so, I kind of just accept students pretty much regardless, because we need the students, we need the money that they're going to generate, so it's fine that he's not going to learn much. Or she, excuse me. That said, let's give them the best chance possible. They're good, so we'll probably want to put them in alchemy school where we have a good teacher. Maybe that'll at least offset being dumb a little bit. Yep. Alright, this one's chosen by the light. Unfortunately, we don't have a light magic classroom at the moment, so that won't help them much. Chaotic evil. So we'll probably stick them in alchemy as well to match up with the chaos. And yeah, we'll go to alchemy school as well. So we have a lot of people in alchemy school at the moment, but we're about to get another crop of students as well, so that's fine. Now that I've done all that, I can purchase another car, which is fantastic. We didn't unfortunately get another classroom, so we can either pick up a private bedroom or a school coat of arms to generate some prestige. This isn't generally something I'm really hugely after, but it could be nice early to get our prestige up. So prestige attracts more students as we raise it, which is helpful because then we can raise our application fees or filter our candidates in some fashion. But I actually don't mind getting the private bedroom just to make sure our students' sanity can recover. Let's pick that up. Now we're going to go back to the head teacher's office and switch applications from 30 gold to free so that we can get as many students as possible over the first year or so. And once our school fills up a bit, we'll probably settle on 15 gold for a while and then kind of go from there depending on what we need. So now let's also pick up this crop of students. Alright, you're neutral, so you probably want to go to nature school, although you're allergic to pollen, so you don't want to go to nature school. Okay, noted. You're at least brilliant, so that's great. Let's send you to alchemy school. Shadow disciple, allergic to pollen again. Oh man, alright. So, bang. Alright, finally, a child of nature. They'll want to go to nature school. Fantastic. Wow, a lot of people allergic to pollen in this school year. Alright, go ahead and go here. And, wow, you're a perfect match for alchemy school as well. Alright, I'm probably need to transfer at least 1 or 2 students over. Let's find somebody who's like a slightly less perfect pick, maybe. Chaotic, evil, neutral. Wait, what about this? Oh, they're allergic to pollen, right? That's like this whole allergic to pollen class here. Okay, let's move you. That's still not good. We'll get another crop of students. We'll even out eventually. But I just want to make sure we have at least a couple in the other class. Alright, so now we've gone 4 here, and that's fine. And now the student hall only has up-down access. That's something to be slightly careful of. Let's go ahead and put a private bedroom right here, I think. Then a refectory. Then maybe... Oh, we have this teacher's lounge as well. I should probably get that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said 5, right? So let's... We'll keep the bedroom here, but overall I want to start my sort of non-teaching facilities here, I think. So we'll go with the teacher's lounge here, the student's hall here, and then a dormitory right there. Perfect. Okay, so we've played all of our rooms. Our school exists. And now we have these things, so where can we house beasts? Either in the stables or in the student's hall. So let's put the fawn right here and the witch's cat right there. And they'll wander around, but they sort of stick in this area a little bit more. So there we go. All right, so now 28 minutes into this recording, I have set up the school and we're ready to actually start. So we're going to unpause the game and watch these students and teachers come on in and hopefully start doing some things for us. There they are. Class of 0. And you'll see some of the students are like wandering off in random directions because there aren't any teachers available yet. They all want to learn, but there's nobody to teach them. So they're like, well, all right. All right, so now this guy and this guy are coming in to teach. And so our students are going to settle in and learn stuff. And meanwhile, we're being contacted by the Adventurers Guild. Sends regards. I found a window between 2 troll massacres to come say hi. The opening of a new magic school is always good news for the Adventurers Guild. What kind of mages do you train? We can train mages who mend folk. We're always need good healers. Mages who blow things up. Or mages that know how to use magical trinkets. And I'm still actually not 100%. This pops up at the beginning of every school year, and I still don't actually know exactly what it is. I know this gives you some variety of like healing trinkets or rooms, which can be helpful. I think this gives you some like fighty items. I'm not 100% sure what this does. Let's click on this one and see what happens. Oh, this gives you a magical trinket, which are really quite phenomenal, actually. So these just sort of hang out and they'll give your students bonuses as they learn various things. So for example, this one, when the student reaches at least level 1 in Beast and Herbalism Magic, they get a Wolf's Tooth and move 20% faster, which is a pretty useful bonus. And level 1's not hard to get. The Arcane Staff, when they're level 3 Elementalism, level 2 Enchantment, they get the Arcane Staff and learn faster. Unfortunately, we don't have any Elementalism classrooms yet, so this probably isn't too good. And the Necro Staff, Shadow Mana when Necromancy level 2. I think I'll start here, because we should actually get that eventually. The Wolf's Tooth is nice, but we don't have an Herbalism classroom yet. So let's start with the Necro Staff. Go ahead and play that, even though it won't do anything quite yet. And yeah. Here we have some students learning some Necromancy. Well, learning all the Shadow Magics, in fact. So you can see these are slowly ticking up, whereas in the more specialized classrooms, it'll only be one of these things, but it'll tick up more quickly. And as a general rule, I found that the specialized classrooms tend to be where you want to be. So if you can get those... The problem is the specialized classrooms come out of the individual decks, whereas these general ones come out of the gold deck. So you generally have to start with a few of the general ones. And then, as you can see, as these students are learning some Shadow Magic, we're generating Shadow Mana, which will let us buy some cards from the Shadow deck. Alright, we're being contacted by the Orcs, who probably want to attack us. Oh no, this is the giant forest troll, excuse me. It's been asleep for millennia, but your presence hasn't disturbed his sleep. Your reputation falls to -100, he'll awake and won't be happy about it. This thing is huge. Huge, I say. Alright, and then the other thing that can happen sometimes is we get these cute little hamster dudes that let us communicate with the various factions around the map. And as we increase our reputation, you can see we have various bonuses from each of them. So this one will get your Arcane Mana and then better teachers once you're really good with them. This one will get you wealthier students and some gold for recruiting students. This one will get lower teacher salaries and increase message speed. Then card cost reduction, natural mana, light mana, and events. And then the Lord of Evil, funnily enough, slows down his own progress if he likes you a lot, and gives you some shadow mana. So there's some there are some like baseline events that you get at these various places, and some of them are kind of worth more than others. I generally like increasing my peasant reputation. Let's see, do I have any nature mana? I do not. My peasant reputation early because they lower teacher salaries by a pretty substantial chunk. But until we get some nature mana to give them some potions, it's hard to do that. So I might start with the orcs or the king, who are easy to raise sort of generically. Let's go with the king. Our students are poor. Let's make them wealthier, perhaps. So the king's extremely busy. The king's council approaches him in a panic and announces the 38 certifications for him are no longer found in Drive 4 at the 3rd floor's second hallway. So we can not worry about that and get 10 faction for sucking up to the king. We can ask for money by losing some reputation. And then we don't have these various options, so we can ask if the forms are really necessary, which I believe leads to an event we don't really want right now. So let's go ahead and compliment the king, get some reputation going. And hope our students learn something. Yeah, so here's a student learning beast magic. As you can see, this is going quite a lot faster, but it's only the one field. Alright, here's some villagers. Hi there, we're from around here. We don't like trouble and we're not fond of strangers. What are you doing here exactly? Do not worry. We teach exclusively sacred magic in accordance with the rules of the Church of Light. Do not worry, for our school mainly trains mages specialized in the healing of farm animals. Do not worry, for our school mainly trains mages specialized in necromancy and the summoning of powerful demons. Turns out they do worry about that a little bit, but the Lord of Evil likes it. So these will give us a variety of different types of mana and some reputation changes. We already should be generating some nature mana, so why don't we try to get some kind of light magic classroom. So we have sort of a second thing we can specialize in, though Arcane Zone we really want, but it'll still be good to have the option at least. Okay, so we can get a Hero's Chapel or a Pyre, which isn't particularly good without any light magic classrooms or some elf students, who in fact did not become extinct. So we'll take the Hero's Chapel, teaches our students the heroism skill. Just go ahead and plop that right in here. Seems fine. And let's see here. Light magic, just making my notes. Alright. So our heroism teacher is going to be evil. Nice. Okay, this one's not a very good teacher. Slows growth rate of needs and increasing the learning rate. Okay, so he's like an average teacher. But the other characters get bored and he loses health. Versus we have an excellent teacher, which is always good to see. Hawkeye and Athletic are both fantastic. So students don't misbehave and they move quickly. They do have a chance to create aberrations though, or a larger chance. And they're also pretentious, increasing the boredom of other characters. They both increase boredom, so that part's not too relevant. Clumsy's pretty bad, but she has a much better teaching rate and some really good positive traits, whereas this guy's, one of his positive traits just makes his mediocrity become slightly less bad, and this is kind of nice, but I think I'll go with her. So we're going to go with Lawful Evil for our light magic teacher. Go ahead and click on that. And now we have a choice of 4 different classrooms. We'll probably go ahead and change up our focuses a bit. Since we still don't have arcane magic available, we'll probably move one of these schools to be light and alchemy and make the other one nature and shadow or something like that. Let's see. Actually, shadow and alchemy want to stick together because right now they both have chaotic good teachers. So we'll say these guys prioritize shadow and alchemy, and these guys don't learn shadow anymore. They prioritize light and nature. And now we can maybe do a little bit of a shuffle and make sure nobody here hates light magic. Oh, this guy's a shadow disciple. Okay, so he might want to move over. Especially since he learned a lot of shadow magic already. This one's chosen by the lights. That's perfect. Let's move you over. You're a super alchemy apprentice. You're just lawful good. You haven't learned much yet. You've learned a little bit. You're only here for 3 years. I probably don't want to transfer you. You're only here for 3 years. You're chaotic evil. And then we got our allergic to pollen squad. Oh, wait a second. This person's allergic to both. Oh, they're just terrible. Okay, you know what? Okay, I didn't realize that. We're going to move you into the general class so you can kind of do your own thing. This person's chaotic good. Yep, they're a good fit. Chaotic neutral shadow disciple. Right, that's the guy we just moved. Okay, our classes are extremely imbalanced, but that's fine. So this guy doesn't want to learn nature or alchemy, but he does want to learn shadow, so we'll have him learn shadow as a priority and light as a secondary. We're just sort of using general class for him alone. I like to sort of do that. The general class doesn't give you any bonuses, so you generally don't want to put students there, but this guy doesn't fit into any of our programs, so we'll have him do his own thing. Alright, perfect. Alright, let's continue. Okay, there's a new crop of students, which is great. Let's see what these guys want. That's not good. We can't heal them, unfortunately. So we'll tell them it's not so bad. And then accept some new students. Alright, hopefully into this school, ideally. So that school has a lawful, evil, and a neutral teacher, which don't really synergize. So if the students are chaotic or good or both, they'll probably go into this school. Otherwise, they'll end up in here. And you're lawful neutral, so put you right into Testazir. You're neutral good. 3 years. Sure, we'll put you in here. Chaotic evil. Okay. Yep, put you in here. Alchemy apprentice. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, a child of nature. Excellent. Put you in here. And a chaotic neutral. We'll put you in here. Alright, so our nature school is still lagging a bit behind, but we'll be alright. Students learning quite a bit of enchantment here. Doing a good job. And yeah, at this point our students are just doing their thing, and we're kind of we're waiting for various events to pop up and our mana to fill up to be able to get some more cards. Unlock some additional classrooms, or maybe a janitor's closet or something. Some shadow mana. Let's see. The Waffle Maker. Characters who eat in this room no longer feel hunger for a few minutes, but are more susceptible to health losses. The Crypt, teaching necromancy, or the Janitor's Lodge, improving our school's efficiency by being clean. I do like having a janitor's closet. They're actually quite helpful. But since we have that necromancy staff, I think I'm going to go with the Crypt and try to make sure our students know necromancy. So our first shadow classroom's here. Actually sort of like spreading the classrooms out a little bit. So let's put this one like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put this one here-ish, I think. It's good. Kind of locks down the space a little bit, but I think that's okay. Alright, we got our necromancy teacher, and let's see, our previous one was chaotic good, so we want to ideally, okay, well they're both neutral good, so we're going to have a good teacher for sure. So that's actually fine. Okay, Natasha is a mediocre teacher. Inspiring, courageous doesn't matter too much. Inspiring's pretty good. And then she moves slower and acts slower, so that's not so great. This guy is still not a fantastic teacher, Sandra Uberwild. Ancient Wisdom, though, makes him teach better. And, okay, he lowers his own. Oh, but he's Elder, which makes him slower, and Slow, which makes him slower. So he's extremely slow. And the classroom's way up here. So that might be a bit of an issue. Where's she? God, she teaches so poorly, though. I think I'm going to have to go with him. I don't like the super slow teachers because they just take forever to get to class, and then they want to take a break and take forever to get to a break room, and it's not a good time, but I don't think we have a lot of options there. Take draw from the nature deck. And generally, so some events and things will ask you to spend mana or gold. As a general rule, I don't stockpile mana. I draw from those decks as soon as possible, but I will stockpile maybe around 100 gold or so before drawing. So I'll wait till 400 gold to draw the next card. Okay, so we have Potted Unicorn. Active characters have a chance of creating unicorn horn cards. Teachers creating the Parkofit hat. Or the Endpine, which teaches magic to students according to the season. This seems fine. Generating components is useful, but starting with a specific one, we're just going to end up with a lot of those and nothing else to match them with. So, if you're not familiar with that system, I guess I can't click on it now. Basically, you can combine 3 different ingredients and get some kind of potion, which will either give you some mana, or like clean up the school, or give you some prestige. There's a variety of effects, but they're useful. Let's start with the Endpine and put that in. See, the Shadow Classroom's seeing a lot of use, but I think the Refectory is still going to be better, so we'll go ahead and have this teach our students while they're eating. Pretty helpful. Apparently they're learning Elementalism right now, which will also give us some Arcane mana, which is great. Okay, here's the Peasants. We might need Nature mana for them, so I'm actually going to hold on that event for now. Let's go ahead and take these applicants. They're dumb 3-year students, not ideal. They're chaotic evil, so we can send them to... let's see. Yeah, we'll send them to Light Nature School. Chaotic Evil again. Sure, you can also go there. Chaotic Evil again, okay. And Chaotic Good. Alright, they'll go here. Perfect. And yeah, you have a little time. You can see there's a timer ticking up. I'm going to wait till I have 50 Nature Mana because I believe this event often asks for Nature Mana. So if I can get there. There's no guarantee because our students are not learning very quickly right now. Oh no, come on. I need somebody to show up to class. Can you 3 save me? Ooh, it's gonna be tight. I don't think I'm getting there. Oh, there we go. Oof, alright. That's not what it was anyway. So you know what I found out when counting the cows this morning? There's one missing. Is the prettiest two. Was it you? We can say it was us and get 600 nature mana for stealing their cow's blood. They won't like us very much for it. We can also get 600 alchemy mana, similarly, or we can just say no and lose a little bit of reputation. 600 mana right now is pretty good. We get quite a few cards for that, so I think it's worth it. We'll go with the option that upsets them slightly less. And draw a bunch of these alchemy cards. Okay, Enchantment Workshop, we already have one. A Rune Scriptorium's good. Library can be useful as well. I'm going to go with a Rune Scriptorium. Draw again. These are all helpful. I think I'll go with the Infirmary, given that aberrations last longer. We'll want to be able to get rid of those. And finally, I can get a Potions Workshop for a third Alchemy Classroom, or I can go with the Aquarium. I think I'm going to go with the Aquarium for now. We don't need this many classrooms quite yet, so hold off on that. Alright, the Rune Scriptorium can go either here or here is fine. Let's put it here. Yeah, that's good. And our current alchemy teacher is chaotic good, so the teacher on the left has a little bit of an advantage there. Again, ideally, and you know, the individual teachers sort of matter more, but like if we can have a bunch of good teachers in a school, then that lets us easily shove the good students into there, and that's helpful. So the guy's an excellent teacher, that's good. Makes other characters a little bit bored, but his own growth rate is reduced. It's pretty solid. And then we have an appropriate ancient wisdom, a greedy elder. Yeah, we'll go with this guy. I think he's slightly better overall, and the fact that he's lawful good is actually quite helpful here. Okay. Rune teacher William Turnip, welcome to the team. The infirmary can go a little bit further out. Oh, only has up down. That's fine. We'll put it here. Or I could put it no, not there. I could put it here. It's kind of easy to get to that way. Sure. Now for the nurses, I'm not sure how much this matters. Probably just makes them go a little bit faster, I guess. Fun, erudite, round belly demoralized, poser demoralized. Oh boy. I do like this guy's growth rates don't grow very quickly. That's helpful since, you know, we want them to kind of stick around as much as possible. Yeah, I think we'll go with Kent here. And stick our aquarium somewhere. Probably in the stables, I guess. Sure. And yeah, the characters will generate us some gold for doing that. Alright, let's continue. Should be able to draw their alchemy cards soon as well. Alright, we got the messenger pig. We have some some nature mana. Let's see if we can't fix our relationship with the village. Really don't want to get the negative 25. There we go. We'll give them some fertility potions free of charge. Gives us 20, so that puts us back to 0, I believe. Right. Still need more students. We have a lot of classrooms right now for how early in the game it is. So we want to keep stacking the students up. Okay. The students got really upset, but they can sleep in the private bedroom and get less upset. Alright, here's some more students. We got Child of Nature, fantastic. Let's throw them into Nature and Arcane School, which is actually Nature and Light School for right now, but whatever. We got a whatever student who's neutral evil. Well, we only want good students in Shadow and Alchemy class, so we'll go here. Well, okay, chosen by the light, neutral, perfect fit. Okay, great. Nice and easy. And can I just ignore this guy, actually? What will happen? Because I believe this guy tries to give us a quest, and it's a quest I don't want, because it's really hard to do in your first university. So I'm going to ignore this and see if it just goes away or if it pops up automatically. And I'm not actually sure what happens when the bar runs out. I'm usually very OCD about clicking on it. So, let's see. Okay, it does auto pop up. So, my dear colleague, always a pleasure to see you. I have the funniest story to tell you. One of our students just became an archmage, and he wasn't particularly bright, if you get my drift. Is that is the miracle of our modern approach to teaching. What about you? I heard you train some pretty good herbalists. So we can choose a quest to try to train an archmage, but that is really difficult right now. We can just lose some prestige and tell them we're happy for them, or if we had high enough prestige, we could just ignore him entirely. But I'm going to take the prestige hit because this quest is devilishly difficult right now. Later on in the run, sure, we train archmages left and right, but right now we're just a fledgling school. We don't know how to do that. Oh, these are interesting. It's not the second enchantment workshop. So the other thing you can do with rooms, so say we pick up a second enchantment workshop, rather than plopping down a second one, we can put this on top of our existing one and make it slightly better. And some of them will have various upgrades you can select from as well. So like once we get an enchantment workshop high enough, we can have it start generating some golems for us, which helps out. But I'd rather have one of these things. We can either have a blue dragon, which wanders around and makes us better at learning alchemy, which is definitely helpful. We have 2 alchemy classrooms already. So I guess not to be confused, alchemy and potions has thrown me for a loop a few times, but alchemy is the general school under which you have runes, potions, and enchantment. So this makes you more effective at all 3. Or the Goonie pick, which gives us rare encounters more often. I'm going to go with the blue dragon. Go ahead and place it right here. And so some of these blue students can hopefully start learning alchemy a bit better. We have a shadow thing as well. The evil banner is nice, just makes us improve our reputation passively, very helpful. We also get a demonic chamber on assassin's arena, both quite good. Letting us, what am I trying to say? Improve more specialized shadow skills. Right now we have the necromancy classroom and the general classroom, which I think I'm okay with for the moment. It's 2 classrooms, and necromancy is the one we actually care about, so we'll take the evil banner. Stick that in our bedroom, and as students sleep, they'll generate some reputation with the Lord of Evil, which can be helpful. This teacher is just teaching to no one. Fantastic. Alright, here we go. Now it's a quest we do actually have to pick, but these are a little bit more doable. So it is time we create specific teaching goals. We should put a curriculum together so our students end up with great futures. What curriculum would you like to create? We can have a bodyguard mage, which requires us to learn portal magic, assassination, and potions, which is not easy. We don't have an assassination classroom yet. We don't have a portal classroom yet, and it's going to be hard to get one. We don't have a potions classroom yet. We can have Inquisitor, which just requires us to learn about Retribution, which is pretty easy. We don't have one of those classrooms yet, but we're generally light mana. We'll get there eventually. We're a Demon, which requires Demonology and Elementalism. It's only 3, so I assume it requires them at a pretty high level. You'll see the Inquisitors it wants 12, and Demons only wants 3. We'll go with the Inquisitor. That should be pretty doable. So we'll have to look out for a Retribution classroom as soon as we can find one. Alright, cool. We got the sneaky merchants here. Merchant University is the Merchants Guild, excuse me, is interested in your new university. We might even be willing to support you financially if you can make sure investing in your university is profitable. For this, your goal will be to collect 10,000 gold pieces. Ah, this is a slightly different thing. This is the... so we can get 200 gold and receive the quest, or we can receive 5 prestige points and refuse them, which I believe will give us a different quest to train a bunch of students, which is quite easy to do. Both these are not hard, to be honest. Let's get some prestige. We just lost one from the other event, so we do not care for money. We're in for a nobler cause. Glad you refused the merchant's offer. We'll be able to focus on our true goal, teach magic to everyone. We should train at least 110 students, which is extremely easy, so we'll do that. Alright, here's 2 student applications. Chaotic Neutral. We'll send you to Nature School as well. And another Chaotic Neutral. Alright, and all of a sudden Alchemy School has fallen by the wayside as we recruit more and more students into Nature Studies. The other thing to sort of keep an eye out on as students are just idlers, as there's no events and stuff going on, is are there any students leaving the school grounds to like go sleep because there aren't enough beds or because they're bored or whatever. So that's a good thing to keep an eye out on, and if there are any, then we know what facilities to focus on next. But for now, let's pick up something out of the nature deck. The Sylvan King's horns are quite good. We don't currently have a druidism classroom, but we'll get one eventually. This can include, yeah, so I'll take those. So when a student reaches level 3 druidism, they get tired a lot slower, and that's really quite fantastic. Means they can spend more time studying. We'll wait till about 400 gold and buy from the standard deck as well. And here we go. Alright, so a second refectory, a private apartment, which is for teachers, pretty helpful. And a second students' hall. The students' halls do tend to get overloaded, so I wouldn't mind a second one, but the private apartments are also a good thing to have. We don't have any yet, so let's maybe take those for now. See, these connect all the way across, so we can put it here. That seems fine. It does make it a little bit difficult to get to from these upper floor classrooms. You have to go way around. So maybe I put it here. No, it's just... nothing here has side-to-side connections. It's kind of awkward. Alright, we'll just put it here and build over top of it eventually. Should be fine. Alright, we got a messenger pig. Actually, what's our mana situation? 82 nature. Okay, can we go to the peasants again? Let's hit them up again. Give them some more fertility potions for another 20 rep. And we're sort of getting there. Okay, so like this student doesn't have a place to sleep, apparently. So another place to sleep will be good. Alright, school specialty. Every respectable school needs a special magic discipline they specialize in. It is crucial to be recognized internationally. And we always have the same 4 choices here. We can choose any of them except Shadow. I guess being recognized for Shadow magic is not a good thing. So we can become known for Arcane magic, Light magic, Alchemy, or Nature. And this quest is generally quite easy. You just have to collect 8,000 mana over the course of the entire lifetime of the university. So as long as I don't pick Arcane here, I'm pretty confident. Let's go with Alchemy, sure. We'll be known for Alchemy. We will, and it already counts your progress, so also like you can see we're already 800 in. We have to train 110 students, and we're trying to train Inquisitors. So I think these are all very accomplishable goals, and the more these you get done, the better the bonus going to the next stages. So you do want to focus on these as much as you can. Alright, our new crop of students is here. Let's see, at this point we have about 25. We're getting close to 30 students. I could probably start charging for applications now. Alright, this is a good student, so they'll go to Alchemy. This is a Shadow Disciple, which is here, right? Nature and Shadow School, isn't that right? No, it's Alchemy and Shadow. Okay. And Alchemy Apprentice as well, okay. And a Child of Nature, fantastic. So we got some good specialized students there. And peasants, let's see here. Can you help us? The thieves from the Adventurers Guild spend their days spreading chaos across the village. A troll murder here, a loud party there. Can you tell them to calm down a bit? Let's teach them a lesson. Plus 20 but negative 30, or I'll have nothing to do with it. It would be nice if I could do some of these other things. But let's teach them a lesson. I think that's worth it. So our village reputation is now 40, which is great, but our tavern is at negative 27, which makes student journalists arcane mana, which is not that relevant, thankfully. So we're not doing fantastic here so far, but we'll get there. Helps to get these banners and like teachers that just passively raise your various reputations. It really can snowball out of control. All right. Oh, I was going to go ahead and raise the application fee. We can also do a pre-selection, which also reduces the number of students that come in. Maybe I do that, actually. Maybe money's not as important. Let's make sure we have some smart students. See how that goes. Alright, we're waiting until about 450 here. And yeah, our students are doing some stuff. Look at this guy. He's learning all kinds of enchantment. And apparently other things he's not necessarily supposed to be learning. Alright. Scale an elven bow or an observatory. So the observatory, not as good early in the game. Your students go there and just generate some mana. And that can be helpful, but it distracts them from their actual studies. So I don't love it. Scales, definitely really, really powerful, but we currently aren't generating any potion ingredients. So I'm going to go with the Elven Bow. Active students gain the Elven Focus, doubling their immediate gains when a future is obtained, which may sound really complicated if you haven't played the game before, but basically when a student graduates, we sort of determine their future. So like Archmage and Inquisitor and those things that we were talking about are various futures, and that generally gives us some kind of benefit, either a long-term one or a short-term one, and this doubles the short-term benefits. It's pretty good. Just stick it in the refectory. Draw from the nature deck. Okay. Stable, Mandragore, and Scholar Plant. Plant's pretty good. Active characters lose boredom, but also a bit of health. The stable we already have, and this can let us generate some components. How about the plant here? We have a infirmary, so the health loss isn't so big of a deal. Where can we place this? Almost every classroom has room for it. And we do want this in a classroom, make sure our students aren't getting bored. Let's see, are any of these teachers like... This guy's fun, so they already lose less boredom. She's pretentious. Okay, so that increases boredom, so that's a good place for it. This one doesn't matter as much. This one doesn't matter as much. Yeah, I'll stick it in our heroism classroom. I can move these around as well if I change my mind later, but it's a good place for it. And we've got enough here. Okay, so we can get a general light room, we can get a general alchemy room, or we can get a new house. Let's think about that a minute. The general light room's okay, but again, I'd rather have things that specialize. The alchemy room, same situation, so I might just take a new house. Let's see what else we can do. Maybe we can find one that specializes in something else. Okay, we didn't. We got passionate, diligent, well-behaved, and beautiful, ambitious, courageous. So there's two different things we can do with this house. One is we can go with the ambitious trait, so it has a better chance of obtaining more beneficial futures after they graduate. And then when our students are about to graduate, we toss them in this house and just sort of get a benefit out of it. Maybe pair it with passionate. Maybe throw our students in here for like their last year or so. That's an option. We can also just choose some generic things. You know, we can get well-behaved or diligent and you know, courageous or whatever. Courageous is bad, maybe beautiful or something. And then just use this as a house, because our other one is what, nature and arcane. So eventually we'll hopefully get an arcane classroom and switch that house to be nature and arcane. And then maybe we can use this as the lighthouse, for instance, because we do want something that specializes in light, so we train all our inquisitors. So I think I'm more inclined to go that way. And if it's going to be a house that specializes in one type of magic, then maybe passionate is good. Make sure they learn those high-level magics a little bit better. And we'll give them beautiful, why not? An outfit and roll for something sweet looking. Perfect. Just make this a little bit lighter color. There we go. All right. Fantastic. So this will probably end up being a school focused on light magic, but I don't want to make that switch quite yet. We only have that one light classroom. So we'll wait a bit before actually placing students in this house. Although this guy could maybe go there. He's a shadow disciple. Sure, we'll learn light and shadow in here for now, and this will at least give him some bonuses. So, congratulations, Joe. You're no longer in the general class. Good for you. Students learning from the Endpine, give them some arcane power stuff. Alright, we got new students again. Let's see how many we got. We got 2 students, not too many. But this one's smart. It's good. Chaotic Good is still a good fit for Shadow School. And okay. Oh, there we go. And we got our parents here. Scholarship. Did you know the neighboring schools give scholarships to their best students? What about you? Well, no, we don't do that. Lose some prestige. Of course we have scholarships. With 75 gold and get 10 students, or we offer a scholarship to further the education of lycanthrope students. Okay, perfect. We have just enough to do it. Sure, let's get some werewolf students. That sounds like fun. We're definitely going to need more beds and stuff. I may not play both, although I can get a lot of gold if I play both these right now and get 300 gold. Let's do it. Alright, we got a Chosen by the Light, so we'll send them here. I guess maybe this Light and Shadow School is not completely insane right now. Let's see, we have 2 Shadow classrooms, 1 Light classroom. Okay. Probably not for an evil student. The evil student still wants to go here. Oh wait, they're allergic to pollen. Actually, yeah, alright, let's send them here. You're neutral good and Chosen by the Light. Alright, I guess we're using the school earlier than anticipated. Evil, Chosen by the Light, you go here. You don't like arcane magic, that's fine. Neutral, put you here. Put you here as well. Alright, bang. Another evil student. Bang. Lawful good arcane scholar, we'll put them in here. Okay, nature. Okay, let's put you here. You don't like alchemy, okay. Put you here. And you don't like shadow magic. We'll put you here. Perfect. Alright, 366 mana is awesome. And we'll of course go back and lower this to free again. We definitely need more beds and possibly another refectory at this point. Our students are too numerous. So we'll want to draw from this deck sometime soon, but I do want to have that spare cash. Alright, we got another evil banner, a black dragon, or a Divermi Tentaculi. So non-humans working in this room, improving magic they already know. It's pretty helpful, actually. We just got 10 werewolves. They're all going to get boosted up by this. Maybe we put that in the Students' Hall? Sounds alright. Alright, got another messenger pig. This could start generating some components for us. This teaches sacred magic, which unlocks more light. I think this is good, even though that's not the light magic room we want. It'll let us have more students in light magic classrooms and kind of go from there. So grab the Righteous Cloister. This one's also a little bit awkward. It sort of blocks the level above it. So if we were to put it here, we can't put anything on this level at that point. I could put it on the far end and build around it that way. I could just put it up here somewhere. Maybe directly above this classroom or like here. I'd rather put this somewhere high or somewhere low. I think low is okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's just put it back here. This is okay. Alright, we would prefer an evil teacher if we can, though they're very bad. But they are punctual on next adventure, that's kind of helpful. Pretentious sucks. You're not much better. Let's see what else, though. You're under the King's protection, that's useful. Hawk-eyed. Clumsy's bad. Contract doesn't really matter. I think we still go with this one, even though they're not a good teacher. Alright. Gabby Karot. The neutral evil sacred magic teacher. Perfect. Alright, let's try to get this one more card, and then we'll probably call that an episode. It's not really fantastic breakpoints for this game, and one university takes way too long for a single video, so I'll probably keep these two around an hour each, and we'll see how many episodes it takes. Okay, the student's getting bored and going off somewhere to take care of that. So yeah, we definitely need more sleeping room, more students' halls. Are going to be pretty important. Those aren't that. We got a psychologist, which is probably still helpful, but it's not exactly what we were after. But still, it's something. Let's take it. Where can I put that? I can put that up here somewhere, maybe. Let's see. Oh, these were the places that had a hard time actually connecting to anything. So I actually don't want to put it here because I want to make sure there's access up and around to this room. So I guess I'll put it here above the bedroom. Just there is fine. Alright, let's check out our psychologist here. A fun job lover with a round belly and voracious hunger. Okay. Or an inspiring, comical, relaxed, heavy sleeper. I don't like this guy gets hungry faster and then lowers his hunger slower, and that's kind of a bad combination. He doesn't get bored very quickly. I think we'll go with her instead. Alright. Give that a quick save, and yeah, we'll call it an episode. Definitely a different sort of game. I hope you had fun watching it. Like I said, I've played through one campaign already. I think the game's very enjoyable. But it's a bit of a slower pace. We'll see how it does as a video. For now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.